And we're back with another video. Okay. Cool. Sick. Yeah. Awesome video time. Oh yeah, let's go. Okay. All right. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sam Downey here. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at SamDowney44. I'm gonna actually move this up. It's a little like kind of far from my face. Yeah, at SamDowney44. Also, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/SamDowney. I'm posting videos here all the time about like trans stuff, non-binary stuff, so all that kind of stuff. So make sure to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just like hit the subscribe, hit the follow, hit the like, do all that stuff. Yeah, like this video. Make sure to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, okay. All right, what else are we talking about today? I totally forgot what the video is about. I kind of wanted to go over just like my progression from being starting out as a femme trans woman, moving to a masc trans woman, and then going back to kind of more a femme/masc kind of trans woman. So like I would say just how my transition has changed over the past almost 2 years of transitioning, right? So I just kind of wanted to go over all the steps that I went through and all the different phases I had, because you know, as a trans woman, you have a lot of phases. So you know, that's a big thing, like in style and that kind of stuff, right? So when I first came out as trans, I almost had this thing in my head that I thought that I had to convince people that I was trans. I thought that, you know, I had to dress in a super feminine way, 100% makeup all the time, 100% like really bright pink colors, you know, like feminine clothes, had to wear femme stuff 100% of the time basically, because I thought that I almost had to convince everyone that I was trans. And yes, this was probably the first couple of months of my transition for sure, you know, like I only wore super feminine clothes, and I almost like, it almost felt wrong to me, like it didn't feel like me, right? But at the same time, I wanted people to take me seriously. Like I didn't want people thinking I was like, oh no, you're just like faking it, you're not actually trans, like you try harder if you're trans. That's a big thing too, like in the trans community, about like trying hard to pass and stuff. I've done a bunch of videos on passing and why it can be seen as like a toxic thing in the trans community, because everybody's transition is different. If you want to check out that video, feel free to check it out. Yeah, so I started out femme, then I would say probably, you know, I would say 6 to 8 months in, I started kind of not caring what people thought. Like I stopped really caring what people think, and I started dressing in a way that I wanted to dress, dressing in like a more masc way. I started wearing a lot more like almost guys clothes again, which was pretty cool to see. You know, I really liked band shirts always, so I wore a lot of band shirts, but at the same time I still knew that I was a trans woman. Keep in mind I was a little bit more into my HRT transition as well, so I was feeling a lot more comfortable in my own body, but at the same time, you know, I started dressing a lot more masc and almost looking very masculine, and I almost had like boy days too, where I actually I kind of didn't care how people perceived me, and I was okay with looking masculine and looking almost like a dude, right? This was probably around the same time that I switched from they them exclusively pronouns to going to any pronouns, because I was okay with being called he him again, and I was comfortable with that, and at the same time I was still comfortable with they them as well, so I just went on to like any pronouns. She her sometimes I was okay with, didn't really use it as much until recently, I would say. So yeah, that was step 2. That was phase 2 of the trans woman life. I dressed in a very masculine way. I started bringing flannels back. You guys know I love flannels. That was around the time the flannel hype was on, right? So it was really cool to see, like, and it just goes to show that you go through a lot of like phases, right? And then the final phase, which recently I would say in the last couple of months I've moved into this almost like half femme, half masc kind of phase, right? And I feel like I'm really finding myself now. And keep in mind, guys, like it's been almost 2 years. Like it took me that long to find myself and find my style. So, you know, if you come out as trans and you don't know what your style is, like that's totally normal. Who the fuck expects, you know, a trans woman to know 100% about makeup, 100% about everything they want to wear, 100% of their style in the first like week? Like that's just impossible. You know, it takes a while to really find out your style, and you know, don't be afraid to try out different things. So I started dressing a little bit more feminine, but at the same time I still kept a lot of my masculine traits in my style as well, and I kind kind of feel like that's really the real me. Like, I don't know. I feel like so much more comfortable in my own body. I also started using any pronouns. I know I used it before, but I use any pronouns. And I actually started preferring she, her as well. Cause like, I was like, honestly, like this is kind of dope. Like I can be a masked trans woman and be a femme trans woman. I can really just dress any way I want. I also use the term gender fluid as well, because I do believe that my gender is kind of on the fluid spectrum as well, as I move between man and women and non-binary and stuff, which is totally a valid thing as well. You know, hey, you can have as many fucking labels you want. Like, honestly, stop with this, oh, I understand why everybody has all these labels. I'm like, well, people like labels. So shut the fuck up about it. Literally, that if anybody ever tells you like you have too many labels, like literally just be like, yo, you know, I'm gonna use all these labels, so you can shove your, you know, your hand up your butt. You can shove your hand up your butt, because you don't like labels, because labels are great. I think the main thing about this video, guys, is, you know, it doesn't matter how you present, how you dress. If you know your gender identity, you know your gender identity, and don't be afraid to change up your style or change up things, and don't be afraid to, you know, dress in a certain way that maybe some people might take you, like they might take you as, what's the word? They might not take you as seriously. Like, who really cares what other people think? If you know your identity, you know your identity, and that's all that really matters. And that's why I make these videos, you know, so you guys can learn just to like accept yourselves for who you are, and, you know, use as many labels as you want, even if they're personal labels, and you know, you have like a basically an umbrella term. Like, for example, I use mostly non-binary, but then I have a lot of personal labels as well that I use, that maybe if someone is interested in my gender identity, I'll tell them about it basically. But, you know, if not, I'll just say non-binary, or like trans woman is fine too. You do you, be you, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's about it for this video. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you want to support me even more, make sure to join my Patreon, join my channel, make sure to join my Discord server as well, you know, because Discord's pretty sick. Yeah, make sure to follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok at SamDowney44. Also, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. That's youtube.com/SamDowney. And yeah, I guess I will catch you guys later. Peace.